Okay. We have seen Karnak Temple the other day. From there, from the southern gateway from Karnak, there is a Sphinx Avenue built by many kings all the way in here, 2 miles. And the Chicago University, they have been doing excavations and they found remains of boats on that side and remains of boats on that side, which means the whole area was just a long island, and the two temples in both sides of that island connected via the Sphinx Avenue, which by the way fits properly in the Egyptian creation myth, when everything was water, Nun, none, and came the first land, Ta Tenen, the Ben, and on top of that Ben from a blossom of lotus came the first God who created himself and created the universe. So always that temple shows you again the beginning of life, and every day it begins again. So around 1200 the Sphinx, we found so many names on those ones, so it doesn't mean one king built them, probably so many of them, starting from the reign of Queen Hatshepsut, and the last one in this stela in here, King Nectanebo and others. In any case, very soon the Ministry of Antiquities planning to reopen the road, and people will be able to walk between the two temples, because in ancient times during the festivals, especially a beautiful one called the Obat, the beautiful meeting when they take the sacred bark shrine, the boats of Amun, Mut and Kunsu, the triad of Karnak, walk all the way with the acrobats, belly dancers. Yes, we had belly dancers in ancient Egypt. I will show you the scenes inside, the boats inside, and they come all the way in here for Amon to regenerate himself as Amon Kamut, the god of fertility in here, where we will see many statues, not all made by King Ramesses, but many taken by King Ramesses II, who is so fond of doing that all over the Egyptian monuments. If you look there, you'll find 6 statues, 2 seated, 4 standing. There used to be 2 obelisks in here. The second one on the right side is now in the Place de la Concorde in France, in Paris. If you're ever there, in the 1800s, they wanted to take this one. It costed them so much time and money, and they actually had to build a specific boat for it. They took it all the way to Alexandria and then across the Mediterranean. I think 6 or 8 years it took until it reached France. The British, by the way, always, as you know, the competition, British and French, were promised the other one, the one in the left.
Yeah, typical French.
But the idea is, when they have seen how much effort and money and trouble it cost the French to take this one, they actually decided not to take this one. But they actually already, they took it down and they brought it up again. Look at it, it's not in the same 90 degree. Just by taking it down and put it up, it's not a 90 degree.
When does the French come back?
Sorry?
When does the French come back?
Well, we are negotiating, so maybe when we become a superpower and ask them for it back. Unfortunately, the problem is it was a gift from Muhammad Ali, the Arab ruler of Egypt. And later on, actually, we wanted something in return, and they gave us a broken clock. It is on the citadel in Cairo. Again, they were superpowers, so we can't say no to that. Anyway, both of them were, as you can see, surrounded by the 4 baboons, guardian of the sunrise. This one is about 25 meters, made from one solid piece of granite. It carries the inscriptions of King Ramesses II, which he put his names, his cartouches in almost every statue in that temple. Many of them have been reconstructed. Many people unhappy with the reconstruction, but it is the available materials and methods we have nowadays. Of course, everyone argue about, especially the one on the left side. It was totally reconstructed in a very different way. Look at the other ones. You can see the 2 on the far left. They look perfect. They look actually genuine, but that one, especially in red, doesn't look as genuine and doesn't fit in the symmetry of the temple. Who asked me about the grooves? In those 4 grooves, there used to be flag poles, as I told you, where the flags will be hanging in here in festival days. And the far left and right, you'll find the battle scenes of King Ramesses II, who fought a great battle against the Hittites, Asia Minor, Turkey today. Although we do know that Ramesses II did not win the battle, but Egyptian pharaohs, they never lose a battle. And this was the way. So he came back, turned this almost a defeat into the greatest piece of propaganda in the Egyptian history, and he documented this in every temple he built. And if you ever in the United Nations headquarters in New York, you'll find a copy of this one as the first peace treaty between 2 superpowers.
Battle of Kadesh.
Battle of Kadesh, yes, exactly. Well, we will walk down now to go inside the temple. Let's go.
So we're going to see that the beginning part was originally megalithic, and so the front section is the original megalithic and then added on to during dynastic times, because there's an interesting change in angle of the entrance. Karnak Temple.
So all of these are replicas, or some of
No,
them?
no, restored, not a replica.
Look at the size of these sculptures. Each one is originally a single piece of stone. And massive obelisk. Around 400 plus tons. Four baboons.
You can see the chariot of the king and the battle scene over there. And you can see the deep carving of King Ramesses. He's so famous with that. Makes it bigger and deeper always.
Does anybody have a compass?
I do.
Phone. Don't you have it in your phone? Okay, can you stand right here and tell me what it says? No, you got the angle wrong. It's better to use this.
Okay.
No, straight down this way. Okay, 23 degrees off. See that? Then all of a sudden, when we get to those columns, it jogs to the left. Let's see. So you have one temple, you know, the Holy of Holy path is supposed to be straight from one end to the other. All of a sudden there, it turns left.
That is weird.
This is pre-dynastic here, and that's dynastic in there. So these ones are probably were originally here, and then we'll see other smaller ones that were brought in from other parts of Egypt where Ramses had his name carved, his cartouche carved into it. Here. There's one especially, you'll see that there's a dagger comes across and the cartouche actually overlaps it. So that means the cartouche was carved later. So that's the basic story.
From 180 to 2.
Well, you have to point it right that way. I did. They're saying pre-dynastic, dynastic.
Yeah.
So again, this is originally one piece of stone. Has one probably. And then that's quartzite, the base, from Cairo. And once again, the fronts are more damaged than the sides and more than the back. So whatever force came, it came this way through here.
That's one piece of stone, Brian.
It was, yeah.
What then?
I think including the base.
Well, you know where. Exactly.
Again, these are pre-dynastic sculptures surrounded by a dynastic enclosure. And that's it for now.